Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. And we are honored and privileged to have Esti Cohen with us today.
Thank you.
Esti is a real estate agent and she's a really outgoing person. We met at the supermarket on Friday.
Yeah,
And
but we met previously at the Real Deal.
Yeah, we met at the Real Deal. I didn't remember her, but
I remembered you.
she remembered me. She's like, "Hey, Mendy." I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
You can't forget a Mendy. Let's just put it that way.
It's a very unique name.
Exactly.
Can't forget this Mendy. So yeah, we just I said, "Why don't you hop on the podcast?" And she's like, "Sure, why not?"
Why not?
Yeah, and we just love chilling with you guys, and it's after hours now, so we may even catch the sunset. It'd be nice.
A little more relaxed now. It's
Yeah,
good.
and kind of wind down with you guys. It's a nice thing. So Esti, tell us a bit about yourself.
So hi, my name is Esti Cohen with the Esti Cohen Group. Some of you may know me by Esti Cohen Sells Miami, but I did just rebrand.
Oh.
Yeah, I hired an amazing company. That was
Really?
like my goal for 2023 was like rebranding.
And it's February.
Yeah, but I got it done. Like
Wow.
it's great. We've been working on it from January. This company I hired,
Yeah.
Secret Media Co.
Okay.
They're based in Toronto. They're expanding to Miami. Doing a really, really good job so far.
Yeah.
I rebranded everything and also hired them to do my social media.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, because I think today it's very important to have social media. If you're not on social media,
You're
no one knows.
missing out.
Yeah, no one knows who you are. A lot of people want to see, oh, you recommend someone like a professional, they're like, oh, what's their Instagram handle? I want to see their work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Esti Cohen, the Esti Cohen Group.
What's your new brand messaging?
My new brand is Esti Cohen Group.
Yeah.
It's called Esti Cohen Group because I do have agents that are going to be joining my team within the next 3 months.
Wow.
So that's exciting. Yeah, we're training now and stuff like that. So God willing, within the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to be expanding. So that's fun. I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. So I have that New York hustle, but in Miami, so it's a little different.
Right.
You don't find that here very often. People don't like to work here.
We work differently. We don't show up in suits. We show up in t-shirts.
Exactly.
And jeans and
we come late.
Yeah.
I came late here today, but I don't usually come late.
That's fine.
But yeah, I moved to.
But it's more personable. You
Yeah.
get to know the person.
Yeah.
Connect.
Yeah, and that's what my brand stands for. By the way, I'm more referral based.
Yeah.
So I'm very into personal relationships. Yeah. I try my best to stay in touch with all my clients, whether they were with me when I started 5 years ago or today.
Yeah.
It's very important.
For me, I look at like every client that comes my way and that we work together as a journey.
Yeah. Exactly.
Each deal is a journey from, oh my God, can I do this? I don't know, until like.
Exactly.
Wow.
And no deal is the same.
No, everyone is unique, and it's not just the closing that matters. Exactly. The beauty of it is the journey that happens while you're in the process.
Exactly.
You get to see the humanity of people. You get to see their faith.
Yeah.
Being tested and how they overcome that, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
in
every
client.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you? Like, what's the biggest challenges that your clients face that you help them overcome?
You know what? When you're in the business for I've been in the business for 5 years. Yeah. So for me, I kind of just get used to, it's like no deal's the same, but it's like the same, the same
process.
Okay, we're looking for a house to buy. We put a house on the market. I think for me, what's like the nicest, what's the most is after I see that they're in their house, or if the seller is sold, I see that they're in either their new state that they moved to or their new house.
Right.
That for me that makes me happy. Like I had clients that just had their first child, and I sold them their home a few years ago, and for me that was something very nice.
It is. It gives a lot of sense of purpose to what we do.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
close the loan. in the outset it would have been like impossible, and she's like 7 months pregnant. We closed it. She was 8 months pregnant, and now she had a beautiful baby boy. I went to go visit, and that was really nice.
That's very nice. That reminds me, I have clients that are also very good friends of mine, and they closed on their new house. They have 2 kids, and now they're expecting their third. So they went from their smaller house to their new house, and in their new house, they're going to have their third kid. And I'm very excited.
It's true. It's a very big deal because people are making the biggest investment in their life. Yeah. It's the investment in themselves.
Yeah, and the fact that they trust you is very big. It's very big, and we shouldn't ever take it for granted.
No.
Yeah.
We have that responsibility to give over that trust.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of new agents reach out to me and they're like, what advice can you give?
Right.
And I give advice that I don't think anybody else gives.
All right, let's hear.
I say, don't look at your clients like a paycheck. Because if you look at them as a paycheck, you will never succeed.
No.
And I can't tell you how many times I'll go into a house that I know is not a good fit for my client, and the listing agent will tell me, listen, let's make a deal, let's get it done. And I'm like, no, like it's just not a good. And I tell my buyers all the time, if I think that this property is not good for them, doesn't meet their lifestyle, doesn't meet their standards, it's not worth their budget or whatever it is, I tell them. And they find it surprising. I'm like, no, I don't think it's good. Because you go to a clothing store, usually, and the salesperson's like, oh, that looks beautiful on you, it's perfect. And you know it doesn't.
No.
So I'm very honest. I'll tell them. And in fact, I had showings today, and I had one of the houses, we saw a few, and I told my clients, I'm like, we went to one house, I'm like, this is the best house. I'm like, guys, this is like unbelievable. And I knew that the others were just like, especially one, it was like so run down.
Right.
It was like, even if, you know what I mean?
So I make my first billion. I'll call it back.
That's a good one.
That's my ringtone, so I make my first billion.
I'll take that. Send it to me after.
Yeah. But a good point that you brought in was that a client is not a paycheck, and we don't get paid from our clients. We get paid from Hashem. Yeah. It's really, and our job is to be a good shaliach, a good conduit to helping you find your home and getting into your home.
Yeah, I agree. We're all shliachs.
Yeah.
Somehow, you don't have to be a shliach and
a
shliach all of a sudden in like Thailand or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
It is. It's a beautiful journey.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so rewarding to be able to help you guys make that investment in yourself, make that investment in your family, and really take charge of your own destiny. It's a really beautiful thing, and it's my privilege, it's our privilege and honor to be able to help facilitate that in any way.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Is everyone hitting you up and asking you, Mendy, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to buy? Is that the first question you get?
It's not always the first question, but typically when you call me, that's the best time to buy. Because whenever that thought pops into your head, it's because Hashem sent you a message to do it, and if you are determined to do it, it will happen.
Yeah.
And we don't know how the market's going to be, but
I don't think anyone could predict. Like people ask me, like, what do you think is going to be in 4 or 5 months, 6 months? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but look, if it stays the same, you're good. Now's the best time to buy. If it gets worse, then you did good by buying now. If it gets better, you can refinance and get the better deal.
Exactly.
You marry the purchase price, but you date 100%. The rate.
Yeah.
The rate should never be.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that, and
I heard that at the Real Deal.
Yeah.
Someone said that at the Real Deal, and it just stuck with me.
That's funny. I heard that.
That's one thing I got from that. That was and meeting you is the second one. There's good dividends from networking and really being extroverted.
I think that for me at least, like I tell my people, like, is it a good time to buy? I'm like, well, what do you want? Like, what's your goal? Do you know what I mean?
Well, if you don't think it's a good time, you're going to find yourself a year, 2, or 10 years later and not bought.
Look, I think that
That's happened to me. I was in Crown Heights, living in Crown Heights for 10 years, dreaming of moving to Miami. And then COVID happened, and I said, enough is enough. I put all my savings together, and I had just enough for the down payment and closing costs. I bought the house. I didn't even rent here. I just bought my house here, and
But that's
it was
how
the best blessing.
You know what? A lot of people, when they call me, they're like moving from another state. They're like, should I buy? Should I rent? I said, look, I always say buy.
Yeah. Always
if you
buy.
really,
Why should
really,
you pay someone else's mortgage?
Right. So I say, there's like very rare cases where I tell someone, listen, rent,
Your rent is going to be the same.
the rent is going to be
anyways.
more.
Yeah,
So
it's
me,
gonna be
like
more,
I just sold and purchased a new home. And before buying my new home, I was like, okay, wait, let me look at the rents. Let me I'm not paying, no, I refuse.
Yeah.
Especially going from a homeowner to a renter, forget it.
Forget it. There's no going back.
But also I'm like, I don't want to pay rent $3,600 when all in I could be at $2,500.
Yeah.
Even with the interest rates being higher than it was. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. And supply drives demand. And also the inventory right now, people ask me, oh, what do you think the inventory is going to be soon? What about the pricing? I mean, look, I think that the market changed. It's not what it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And sellers have to come to terms with it.
They are. Right now, they're just.
But inventory is low. So price is going to go based on what inventory is out there,
Yeah.
And inventory is low, at least in the areas that I do, which is like Hollywood, North Miami Beach. Inventory
Because
is very
those
low.
are very well established Jewish communities.
Yeah.
That's why the inventory is low and the prices are really high.
No comment, can't discriminate.
Well,
we have very tough rules.
Yeah.
But no, I do think that, like for example, I showed a house last week in Emerald Hills,
Mm-hmm.
and the agent called me back the other day, and she's like, "Can I get feedback?" And I'm like, "Yes." Why? Because that's in the best interest for my buyers.
Yeah.
And the buyers I showed the property to, I called them all back, and I'm like, "Guys, they asked for feedback. Like, do you know what that means? They're not getting what they want."
Right.
Because a year ago, I didn't even have time to breathe. It was like boom, boom, boom. The house was under contract.
Right.
Now it's a little takes a little longer. Do you know what I mean? It's a little slower, but it's still the houses are still selling. It's just a matter of time.
Right. But they're going around asking price. It's not above asking price like before.
Right. I mean, you know what? There is something I know right now that went up.
Way above.
Went up priced very, very priced to sell.
Yeah.
And it's under contract over asking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, in Emerald Hills. Because look, it happens.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, I think
there's the right home for the right buyer.
Yeah, it's like it should have.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too.
It's just meant to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But also I feel like people's plans are changing. Like there's people are still going to buy no matter the interest rates.
Yeah,
Families are growing. Yeah. Families are growing. People are moving to Florida from different states because their job is relocating, or because they're opening up a company, or because they want to be in the warm weather. So people are still buying. People are going to buy. It's not like everyone, people are just coming to terms.
Yeah.
Buyers are coming to terms with the current interest rates.
Right.
And
well, the interest rates they're never permanent.
Exactly. And you can always refi. So my thing was like, okay, I'll buy it like this.
Do what you can today. There's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah.
There isn't. It doesn't exist. They say perfect is the enemy of done. Yeah. Just do with what you can today, and you can always buy a second home and a third home. And when things change, you can refinance. Things can change later.
Yeah.
And you can adapt to that.
I agree.
But do what you can today.
I agree.
So we live every day. Do the best you can.
Do the best you can. Yeah.
Give it all you got.
Yeah. So funny. Like so many people in my circle that I work with, like colleagues, mortgage brokers, title, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A lot of them are not natives. They're not like, they're not Floridians. They're like from different states.
Right.
And it's amazing because we have I feel like in South Florida, we have such a variety of people.
It is.
Like international.
It is, but we all have something in common. coming from, we all had like a sort of like a ETS Mitzrayim when we came here. We were coming from like oppressed environments or states or governments from Venezuela, from Cuba, from
Exactly.
from Ecuador,
Exactly.
from New York and
New
California.
York, Brooklyn. California,
hey,
that's like,
yeah.
oh my God, I know.
We love, but we get the best. That's why we get the best. We get the best New Yorkers here. We get the best Venezuelans here. We get the best Californians over here because they're just freedom-loving people, and they just want to live a better life for their family.
Yeah, I agree.
And they yearn for that freedom. And that's what we have there. So the minute I bought my home, I became a Florida boy. That was, yeah, it's the best.
Florida's the best. I don't think I think in the past few years, from all the out-of-towners that moved here,
I don't think there's any regrets.
yeah, I don't think
People are not going back to New York.
I showed a house the other day
Yeah.
that the listing agent told me that the owners are moving back to New York.
Really?
I know, and I was like,
What?
why would anyone do that? But I know people, I have clients, friends, people that I know that moved here and are still traveling back and forth to New York for work.
Yes.
And they say it's worth it. They
Yeah.
say they don't care, it's worth it.
It is.
And they'll do it.
By the time you get here. Yeah.
It's not such a long flight.
Yeah.
And it still works out because it's just better to live here.
I have friends from Canada that bought homes here, and they're, according to their visa, they're only allowed to be here half the year.
Right.
So half the year they're traveling there, they're going back to Canada or to other places just so they can live here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The call of Florida.
Yeah. So what would you say that's like, I'm asking you the questions
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it's just conversation.
What would you say makes you stand out from other mortgage brokers? What's different?
It's a good question. I asked myself that today and yesterday and the day before. Really, it's about coming into having someone there for you, representing you, and instead of you being there trying to find the best rate or find the best worrying about it, you give me the worry, and I take care of that. When you're with us, you have multiple banks that we can work with, and you get to choose what's most advantageous to you. And also, like, your credit is not what it is today doesn't necessarily have to be like that by the time you close. There's so many improvements we can do with your credit. And you get a thorough education on all your market advantages that you have going in when you're buying a home, and you have somebody really taking you by the hand and taking care of all the stress and worry. So it's a peaceful, beautiful process for you. And that's something unique. That journey is something you're not going to get anywhere else. And at the bottom line, the one thing you need to know is it's going to get done. That's it. Rest assured, you come to your file's on my desk and you come to me, your loan is going to get done. That's the bottom line.
They'll get a CTC.
You will get a C2C. You will get a C2C.
My favorite 3 words.
Yeah.
For me, it's like
it's happening.
When I have clients, and I know that any client, whatever mortgage broker they use, I know them, and I've gotten to know them a ton over the past 5 years. But I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I don't sleep at night until I get it clear. Like I sleep, but I'm just that type of person that was always worried.
Yeah.
But I know that there's no reason to be worried. It's just I just want my clients to get that clear to close.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what? The clear to close is probably the easiest part of my job.
Yeah.
It is. The hardest part of my job is, or the most labor intensive part of my job is helping the client be at peace with the fact that they're buying a house and have that peace of mind, trust, and everything will be okay.